Hi, Davi here, and today we're doing another art process session. We're doing a bit of ASMR. And I got some good comments from the last video. Kind of. But we're back. So I did mention in my last art review about how I wanted to kind of study, I guess, like the eyes of the drawings made by this artist called Hanecha1220. If you haven't seen the video, just check the last one, or maybe I'll link it in the description below, or maybe I'll link it as because you can link like a video within the video in YouTube, so I can try that as a card. I think it's called a card. So yeah, this time I think I'm gonna do some inks, so basically black and white, and that's kind of my interest. And I'm gonna focus more on the eyes because I want to be able to learn how, because for each of his drawings or her drawings or their drawings, the eyes are kind of unique, and I want to be able to see how that's done. I'll try using the brush pen here, right? So usually when it comes to anime, it's usually like a circle, right? So let me start by doing the obvious. So it's a circle. I do have reference. I am studying their work, right? Do this. Add a bit of that. So it's basically a big blob first. Some mitigation of eyelashes. And then it sort of does this, right? Right. So, okay, so there's that. There's a reflection right here. It's basically a white spot right here. Interesting, and there's a white spot over here as well. And the thing is, it's wrapped around in a contour line. Holy shit! That's a good fucking eye. See what happens when you use reference? You actually freaking learn. And then we'll draw the eyelash here. And I like how the way I like the way they draw. It's not like one line to say it all. You're sort of like doing this, where you're sort of sculpting it with multiple lines, or carving. I think that's a better word, carving it like this. Let me just select all of that, delete. Let's try a different eye. You know, when I have my microphone set at this level, you can't hear it obviously, but on my end, I can hear everything. And let me tell you guys, I don't like it, because it is distracting. So we have this kind of eye. So it's basically like one blob. I'll find a different eye. Again, we're focusing on eyes just now, right? So we'll call this eye number 1. No, this one is more. Okay, we'll draw the blob first. So when you're drawing the eye, draw the blob. Encompass it, right? Eyelash in the bottom. Very suggestive. This is number 2, right? And I like how it's not always clean like the edges. It's a bit. And you do see like the top part of the eye a little bit. I'm not sure what you call it. Call it like the cover or the hat of the eye. And again, the same thing, white blob here, but there's a contour line. A bit thin, sort of encompassing the whole thing. Okay. There you go. fuck? Let's move this around. So it's practically the same thing. Oh yeah, one of you mentioned that CSP, Clip Studio Paint, doesn't have GPU. And that's the reason why it lags, unlike Photoshop. I had no idea. So I still have no idea what GPU means, but I'll assume it means something important. And yeah. There you go. Right. So there's at least... Oh, I don't like this part. Let me just do this. It's more thin, actually. There you go. Okay. Again, we're focusing just on the eyes because that's what really captured my attention. Or what made me want to try out doing some inks. Holy shit, this is not too bad. I think I really am an artist, guys. Oh, let's do this. So there's a blob. We'll just draw the blob first because it's much easier that way. And I can always sculpt things out after. Oh, so the pupil is kind of around here. There's kind of a white circle surrounding the pupil. You get some dots here and there. Oh, so a big sort of dash line cutting across. This one seems a little sketchier than most of the other eyes, but okay. Look at that. Right? That's a cool looking eye. What the fuck? And then you draw out like the edge a little bit of that pupil. Look at that. You like how it's kind of messy, right? It just provides or gives that really sketchy sort of feel. Look at that. Oh my god. Yeah, this one seems a bit more detailed, right? Because there's like extra specks, unlike the other one. So let me draw the other eye. Because I've been drawing just one eye, so let me just draw the other one. You see how you can learn so much just by copying, right? And what's cool when you do this technique, I recommend trying out or checking out the work of Shigenori Sojima, because he draws the same way, and obviously Anich 1220. Because it's a very direct way of drawing, and I think it fits painters rather well, because kind of sometimes go back and forth, right? Where your lines don't always, they're not good, or they're not done in one go, or in one stroke. Basically you're sort of painting in your lines, right? I feel like I would do a little better if I had a pen display. I mean, I do have one, but I really am frustrated with the color picker. Hopefully I can get one of the pens soon, like a replacement pen, but my card is not working, or I have to get it replaced, and they're sending a new card a debit card. So right now I'm sort of just stuck here, waiting for. I basically can't buy anything as of now. This one does have a little bit of contouring, so just a tiny little bit. Right. Look at that. See how messy it is? And then some like some like sparkles or spots here and there. Oh, another artist I recommend you check out when it comes to like ink work. Especially digital types of inks. I think his name is George Jimenez. He's a comic artist, and I think it's him. He has like so diverse. I just love the way he does his inks when he does his comic book sort of artwork. It just looks so cool, and there's like so much in it. Like it's not. Like he's really utilizing the digital sort of medium, and it looks really good. Because sometimes there's like a bias, like oh, like it's not real ink, so sometimes it's kind of shat on in some cases, but it has its strengths. Like you can only really do those kinds of techniques. Or it's easier to do them when it's done digitally, right? So, and but then again, he does use a pen display. Why does this one look a little small for some reason? Oh, okay, so there's a white here, but the black, so there's a black line that does this. See how can I easily erase those lines? I don't really erase it by using an eraser. I use just the same pen to paint over those mistakes with white. All I do is select the background, which is white, and that's how I erase what needs to be erased, right? I think this one needs to be a bit more like outward, right? So even if you want to make it thinner, you can just again paint over it with the same brush, right? So in this way, in this case, you are drawing technically, but you're also painting, or it looks like a drawing, but it feels more like a painting, like you're sculpting the lines, right? And I talked about it in my last art process video. It's not as symmetrical as I would want it to be, so let's try this. Let me just add a little bit of like, yeah, I think to make it look more equal, you need to balance out the amount of information. So if sometimes one eye or this will have a little more splatter or less splatter, so you want to make sure you balance that kind of visual information, right? Because if it's too clean, if it doesn't match the other eye, it's gonna look kind of weird, kind of off. And it doesn't always have to be the same thing, it just has to look like there has to be like a certain amount of information, visual information, right? right? So now it looks kind of the same, right? Again, you want to find that, is it perfect? No, but fuck it. Example, let me just use a liquify tool. I feel like this should be a little bigger. Maybe push it a little bit to the left. Make the brush size a little smaller, do this. How about that? Okay, let me go back to my pen here, and I think it's supposed to go a little like this. A little more straight. Because I think the eye was going to like this, but this one is like this. So I want to make sure it's kind of the same angle. I think that's enough. So we'll call this number 3. Not bad! Shit, I'm so cool. It looks kind of off. But I think I got the gist of it. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. The aim here is to learn. Holy shit. So oftentimes there's like a reflection in the bottom part. And then the splat or the spots. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2. And sometimes you can draw a white around the pupil. Okay. Holy shit. I'm a master now. Okay, this is not bad. A 17-minute study of just studying eyes. I mean, anyone can do this. So if you're trying to improve on something, just focus on one thing. And it will only take you about, what, 15 minutes? Maybe 20? Like, it's no biggie, right? Holy shit. Let's draw a few more. Oh yeah. Let me just have some coffee. You know, because the eyes are such a distinctive feature, and for illustrations, drawings of any kind, it's really a compilation of all sorts of details, right? So you can't just learn everything in one sitting. You sort of have to build up your like library of techniques. So right now I can do work on some eyes, right? The next day I can study a bit of like hair, and if I keep following that process over time, I'm going to sort of ingest, is that a word? Sort of naturalize those bits of information, and hopefully the aim is it's going to show up in my oh my god, sometimes I have a that's fine. Okay, so these eyes are a bit different, the one I have in front of me right now. So we'll draw just one, because right now my aim is not really to do symmetrical eyes, kind of like these two, right? I think I wasted a bit of time, kind of. My aim ought to be like what makes up a good eye drawing. So all you need is one, because you can always do the same thing to the other eye anyway. So trying to waste time making two eyes sort of match is not really the intention for this session. And sometimes you have to be specific that way because you have to be a bit more deliberate with what exactly you're trying to do, right? Right, so let me just hit L, lasso the thing, bring it down. There it is. Now this way of rendering the eye is a bit interesting. So it goes around here. Right, oof. It's a bit thick because there's shadow. The pupil is around here. So it's almost thick at this point. And the eye part, the pupil is done like this. Oh my god. Sometimes they hit the wrong keypad. Fucking Christ. Anyway. So I'll make the brush smaller. Hopefully you can see it. And that's the eye in my reference photo anyway, or reference drawing of a photo of a drawing. But it's not exactly a photo. It looks like a photo. Ugh. It's hard to explain because this guy is combining 3D and 2D. So it looks like he's taking a photograph of drawings of like traditional sketchbook drawings. But what he's actually doing is he'll do a Photoshop drawing in Photoshop, so it's a digital drawing. He'll do a 3D rendering of like a notebook and a sketchbook, or some pens, maybe a camera, right? So he's essentially combining 2D digital with 3D digital to create a photograph. I know it looks confusing, but once you see his work, you're like, oh shit. So it's kind of an interesting artist, I would say. And then there's a bit of like a dashy sort of thing. Like this. Whoa, do you see that? Oh my god, it's over. Right? Oh my god. Okay, that's not bad. Right, so basically do a little bit of a dash for the pupils over here, and then do a fade out with white lines on the black part you did earlier. That's an interesting way of doing eyes, right? And I think it's way faster. And I don't see any sort of reflective spots. Oh yeah, looking at the work of George Jimenez, seeing some of his close-up drawings, because he'll take a photo of him drawing in his tablet. Sometimes you'll see some grays. It's not a pure black and white thing. He'll use some occasional mid values. So I thought that was interesting. Harder to do that traditionally. Maybe you can use some markers, but it's hard to do like an overlay or a stroke above lines you've already made traditionally, right? So doing this digitally, I think, is the better choice. Well, not better, but it's more convenient that way. So we'll do number 5. Oh my god, I'm liking this one a little more. By the way, any tablets out there, tablet companies who want to send me a pen display, come on. I'll happily like simp for you and just, I'll do videos after videos of me just serving your company, right? Now there is a price that I request. I do want a pen display. Something that can replace because I have a vase mount. And I do have a monitor arm So something that can replace my 22E Pro, my XPPen 22E Pro. Oh, by the way, if you're listening to this, if you have like recommendations for a big pen display, again, something that's big enough to be that has a vase amount basically, because I do have again a monitor arm. I would love some recommendations because if I don't get a sponsorship or something, I'll just buy it with the ad revenue because thankfully the channel has been monetized for like 2-3 months now. So I can use that money to buy. Because tools matter, guys. Tools matter. Don't believe people who say brushes don't matter or tools don't matter. It matters. Right? It matters enough that if it's even slightly good, it's gonna show in your work. Right? For example, using my XPPen Deco Pro Gen 2, as much as it has like great features, just that one size up from my Wacom Intuos Pro S. Again, I'm not even talking about like pressure sensitivity or like the feel, just the size, the difference of a small to a medium sized. Because my tablet right now is slightly bigger. Not slightly, it is like a level up bigger than my Intuos Pro S. I have noticed a change in my like the way I draw or paint, just because of that one factor, size, right? Like my hand moves just a bit more freely than normal, because with the smaller size, my hand feels a bit constrained. So in a way, it was kind of a, what is this? Ugh. I'm using a different brush, mother. Right, so sometimes you have to consider like things you don't think you should consider, or they kind of seem unimportant, but they actually are. In this case, if you have a pen tablet, size matters. I'm not saying bigger is better, but you need to find the appropriate size for you. So same thing here. Now the eyelash, again, the top part of the eye is a bit thick, so we'll keep that as is, right? We have the sort of the cap of the eye, or the eye fold, right? It's a bit thin because you can't really see, you're seeing the eye from below a little bit. Now this is the part where I struggle, like it's, sometimes you have to keep repeating the same line. But again, eyelash is a bit high, one stroke to say it all. Putang. Okay. Sometimes I hit Control Z, right? But I end up not hitting Control, so I just end up hitting the magnify. Fuck. Okay, I'm very frustrated now. Easy. Okay, that's not bad. Just leave it as it is. Okay. And then the very minimal line in the bottom. So the whole eye is basically like what's almost like one black shape, right? Some like blushing eyes here. And it kind of meets over here. And then some little dashy lines here, just a little bit. This whole thing is empty, by the way, so you don't see anything. And then you get like a line with a dot, dash with a dot. Wait, we'll make this all black and then we'll add a white here. Do this. And then in the bottom, you do see this sorts of like, look at that. That's not a bad eye, right? Oh, look at that. Oh. See? Like, it's really mostly like a big black shape. I guess it makes it look cuter in a way, like the character. And then it does curve up a little bit like this. Okay. See? I've learned something. At least you have like if you do these kinds of exercises, now you have a sort of a mileage, I guess. Like you kind of have experience drawing eyes now. So let me just hit save. So how long have you been drawing? Oh shit, 30 minutes? Not bad. This is not a bad session. I could go for more drawings or studies, but I think I've gotten a good. Let me just draw another eye. It's the same eye, but in a different position. This one is a bit like, it's almost a square. Kind of like this. Very minimal underline line for the bottom part of the eye. Oh my god. So it's basically one solid thing. Sometimes some white lines interfere or go inside, right? Here you see a bit of maybe a nose. This is the nose. You see some blush lines here. This is where the pen pressure helps. You know, you're using the same brush, but you don't have to like change the brush size constantly because the pen pressure is sort of kind of helps with that. So same thing, we'll do like a dash and then a dot, like a mini dot, and then some of that. See? Just separate these ones. This one is supposed to be here actually, but right? So it's almost like a square, like a really blocky sort of blob. And then two, like a dash and then a dot. And then you have like little white specks at the bottom. And it's almost like you can't even see the pupil at this point. Right? So there's almost no pupil in this one. This one has a pupil, but it's all dashy. Like it's almost like a blurred look. Right? This one has a lot of like artifacts in it. Like think of the splatter stuff, like the dots and everything. And there is kind of like a white line. You can't see it. Let me just... There is a white line surrounding the black pupil. So that's what I've learned. And it's just more detailed to look at. Or there's more visual information. These two are actually kind of the same. Sorry. These two are actually kind of the same. Meaning there's one reflection underneath. One reflection underneath. And then some specks. Right? One or two. So we've learned something from this session. Hopefully you've learned something. You can even try and just copy what you can from these drawings. And apply them. Just do eyes. Don't do anything else. Because you don't need the unnecessary pressure at the moment. And once you have like a good solid grasp of like these ideas, then you can explore another idea, or you can start applying it. You can move on to the next thing, basically. That's my point. Should I do one more? You know what? Fuck it. Let me do some more. Wow, ambitious. I'm such a good person, aren't I? Again, I'm using my XPPen Deco Pro. And the reason why I'm saying generations, the reason why I'm saying that is because I don't feel like I did a good job. I feel like I disappointed XPPen because the product review I did not get the amount of views I wished. So I kind of feel bad that it's sort of a letdown. So if you think I'm pushing XPPen a bit too hard, it's forgive me, but I just feel like I need to, you know, show them props because I don't want to be a disappointment. You know what I mean? Like, they gave me a freaking tablet and I actually like it, but what did they do in return? Give shit views. So, I mean, I did say that I've basically already replaced my Wacom Intuos Pro S with this one. And hopefully the ASMR, like the kind of video I'm doing now and the one before or previously, the sound you hear from the pen hitting the tablet, that's what you hear. Hopefully it gives you a good idea of what this pen, or hopefully how the pen sounds. Kind of helps you understand what it feels like if you were to use it or buy it. Let me just do some extra like. Do you hear that? And by the way, I'm using the felt nib. It sounds better if you use the felt nib. It sounds better, feels better. So I do recommend the felt nib. Anyway, going back. Let me do some eye studies. We'll do number 6. Wow. Christ. Yep. By the way, there's another brand aside from like XPPen, Hawaiian. I think Gaomon is kind of the newcomer. Gaomon, Gaomon, Gaomon. Very interesting. So, I think they are the newcomer. So thick eyelashes, right? We got a blob over here. And there's almost no line underneath. I feel like my inner Shigenori, so Jima, is kind of coming out of me. Oh, a bit of eyelash. That's new. I'm overdoing it. Right? You just want to be more raw with it. So do the blob first. It's okay. Shit, the eye is kind of thick. Let me just thin this out. The actual eye is kind of thin, but the upper eye or the eyeshadow, whatever this thing is called, this thing, it's kind of thick in the reference photo or drawing. See, I did it again. Oh my god. If the line is too thick, you can just either do it again or just erase it a little bit. Ugh, I did it again. Why do I keep hitting or missing control? Annoying. Anyway, so in this case, it's 2 dots. Kind of like that. And then like a smiley face. It's still within like the black shape. Ugh. I think this drawing is getting a little too small. That's why I'm struggling. Basically the white sort of, it's very close to the edge, like a smiley face, right? And then some dashy lines. Kind of like that. Interesting. Do you see that? It sort of meets here, but it... Very interesting. Shit, I think I know how to draw eyes now. My recommendation is just study what you see. If you look at artwork and you're like, oh shit, like the eyes are kind of freaking pretty, then my recommendation is to use study the living hell out of those brushes. Now, I'm not supposed to do this, trying the whole symmetrical thing, but I'm already here, so. Oh, in this case, I can't even like see the bottom line anymore. Like there's nothing in the bottom, it's just like a one big blob. I do see the top part like this. The eyelid. It's not an eyelid, it's the eye cap. The thing, the hat of the eye, where it's kind of acting as an umbrella of something, or of sorts. But anyway, the reflection, same thing, 2 dots. Kind of like that. A little bit of a smiley face. And then the dashi. Oh my god, perfect anime eyes. Let me just see the. Oh shit. I'm a fucking pro. Sorry. I'm a freaking pro. Oh my fucking. Oh shit. You should be glad you're subscribed to me. I'm giving you the secrets of life. Okay, anyway, I want to draw the face, but again, not the focus. Not the focus. See, there's so many ways to creatively draw eyes, right? So if you don't know how to do that, then you're gonna have to copy, and then eventually once you have enough experience, even if it's via copying, you're gonna learn how to sort of be confident in making up your own, because there's so many variations of this sort of thing, right? Ugh, what the fuck, 7? Sometimes I hate this part where you have to draw the circle over the number or around the number. It just doesn't feel good sometimes. Ugh. I don't know if it's a perfectionist thing, but fuck it, I hate it. Is this OCD? Who knows? Oh my god. Let me drink some coffee. What's my time? 40 minutes? 42 minutes? Why is my camera on? Right now in Bandicam, I think I have my webcam on. I don't like it. I'm not doing a face reveal, by the way. Hopefully I can delete it. If not, I'm gonna crop it away. Anyway. Jesus Christ. And by the way, the webcam of my laptop sucks asshole. Oh shit, sorry for cursing. Number one, it's in black and white, so there's no color. And it's like 720p. And there's so much grain in it. Like it's like basically 480p at this point. Like it's not even worth mentioning. Okay. Anyway, stop. Okay, big round. This one's a bit round, right? Almost no lines in the bottom part. Some lines on top for the eye cap. I'll call it the eye cap, right? A bit of like one eyelash. And then, oh shit, I know what's happening here. We'll add like a white mark. A big ass reflect. Oh, why is it gray? Like this. One dash here. The point is, when you make this, you want to make it match the other eye. So it doesn't matter the configuration almost. It just has to have like enough visual sort of information or pattern that's kind of interesting, and then you try to match it up with the other eye. visually, right? And for the eyebrows, they tend to not be as thick, or the way this artist specifically does it, it's like literally just one line. Look at that. Oh my god. And you want to make sure the edge is kind of clean. Like, not all of it has to be like super sketchy, but if you have like certain parts or certain edges that are just like really not, it's just clean, like it's a bit smooth, the edge, I think it sort of balances out the sketchiness, everything. Right? Oh my. Holy shit. Look at the, oh, artist. Look at that. Oh my freaking lord. So sexy. That's a good freaking eye, right? Another configuration. Right? So whenever you're doing lines on the bottom part of the eye, I need to know the proper names for like the eye anatomy so I can better explain it. But the bottom part of this eye is basically almost no lines, right? Like you sort of assume the edge via this point and this point, so you assume there's a line here. Whoa, genius! Anyway. Should we move on to the next one? I do like how the other eye was done though. I'm not trying to be symmetrical here, but I just really like the way it was done. It's actually a bit more angular than this. So let me just draw the edge, right? Kind of like that. Oh shit. Sometimes you'll accidentally pick an edge, so it's gonna end up being gray. You could set the layer property to just monochromatic. That's fine, but you know, you don't have to. There's actually like a flicker, kind of like this. So it doesn't totally match like the visual information of the other eye, but it's so interesting to look at though. See? It's almost like abstract art, right? Or graphic design. Like the shapes are just so, and like where you put those, white specks and all. It's like an art form of its own. Why is it gray? No, but sorry. Oh, by the way, thank you for the support, and I've been seeing your comments. Like, I think you've been liking the videos so far. Not all of them, but if you like a few of them anyway, and if you like the rawness, the realness of this thing, then thanks for your support. And it's nice because this is kind of a lonely thing. Well, not lonely, but sometimes you kind of feel like you're talking to a void. But then again, it's so like it's not a trope at this point, like the lonely artist, right? She looks, now if you combine these two eyes into one thing, she kind of looks a bit cross-eyed. So let me just move her a bit to the left. So, oh. Now it looks a little more better and not as Special, if I may. Oh, Jesus. That's fucked up. Easy with the jokes, Dave. Easy. Oh, by the way, it's the 6th day now. So I'm gonna have to do like an art podcast soon. I think I'll be doing those once a week. It's a way for me to kind of connect with the audience, but really, it's mostly about me not drawing something, because I feel tired when I have to draw all the time, or I need a break, basically, from doing the. It helps diversify my content too, so there's that. But also, it's just nice to talk and ramble about stuff. Oh my god, do you see that? Is it like perfect? Are these eyes perfect? No, but right, at least you kind of know now that it's pretty easy. Again, I'm using black and white only, and yet it looks amazeballs. Do you know why? I'm also learning how to use reference. Fear not the reference, my brethren and sisters, right? So we'll be doing one more. Because it's been 51 minutes, and yeah, it would have been nice like to fill up this whole page, but let's be realistic, right? Let's not overdo it, right? 1 hour is enough, and it shows you that you can study, you can spend time. I think I could have stopped at number. I could have stopped at number 3. But we can always do more. And again, that's like what's at the 15-17 minute mark. You have enough time to study, guys. This one feels like the most. Let me just draw it. Fuck. I was using my mouse. My bad. This one feels like there's more information compared to the rest, so this one feels better for like quick sketches, because it's really just a bunch of dashy lines. These ones are more simple looking, and they're so black, like the eyes are just so filled with they do look the cutest though. Anyway, one last eye. One last stand. I think that's a Lord of the Rings reference. Hopefully. One last. Am I right? Am I saying it right? I think it was part 2, the Twin Towers. They were basically sort of trapped in their castle thingy in Helm's Deep, and I think that's what Gimli said, right? And then he used or blew on the trumpets. For glory? For Gondor. Oh no, for Rohan. That's what Aragorn response was for Rohan. Oh shit, was it the king who said one last ride? I think that's what, not, fuck, I'm getting confused. I think it's the line was one last ride, right? Yes, and then Gimli goes, yes. I love Lord of the Rings. I haven't read the books. Sorry, you purists out there. Fuck it, let me just erase and paint over the whole thing. It's so ugly. Let's make it bigger. Larger. Better. Oh yeah. So the eyelashes are kind of... Oh, I do see some like flickers right there. Some indication of the eyelashes, right? oh my freaking lord. Oh shit, there's almost like no like eye line in the bottom part. It's pretty much the same rendering style as the others. Whereas this one, I believe. Shit, is this one, I believe. But I don't care. Oh no, okay. So let me make the, I guess the eyes a little smaller here. Or sorry, the brush. Oh no, I'm losing my brain cells. Oh no, DAVIII has gone berserk. What the fuck is, oh my god. By the way, if you get frustrated with drawing, it's completely normal, right? Let's have a bit of empathy for, oh my god. Fuck, let me just draw it one more time. Oh, do you see that? Smiley face, but it's done dashy, so meaning multiple lines. 2 dots. A little dot right here, and then ooh. Like that. Whoa, shit. Okay, that's enough. It almost looks like a bit of a pebble, like a really shiny sort of pebble thing. You know what? I'll make the brush even smaller for those inner dashy lines. Brush even smaller. Right? Oh my. Oh shit, guys! Look. Oh no. Right? Look at that brush variety. If you zoom in, oh, you can see it. Oh my. Oh show. It looks like a literal marble. My precious. My precious. That's Smeagol, by the way. One last ride. Oh my, look at that. Oh, it's prettier now. Okay, that's it. 58 minutes. How many eyes did I do? 8 different kinds of eyes. Some of them just 1. Some are like 2. The point is there are 8 different variations. And my reference, or I referenced the artworks of, or drawings of artist Hanecha 1220. If you haven't seen this artist's work, check out the link in the description, or I will link a link within the actual video. Just click on, I think it's in the upper right corner. So check out Hanecha 1220, and also check out Shigenori Sojima. Maybe I will link his work too, because I think the way they draw is very similar, where they feel like they're drawing via painting. Right? That's what it feels like to me. So that's it for this art process video. God, I'm so dumb. I think the more you spend time doing something, like your brain just sort of leaves you, right? Where your mouth just stops working. So I think 1 hour is my cap for these sorts of videos. But hopefully you learned something. And try doing this exercise. Just copy eyes. Do it in black and white. Forget the colors for now. Skip every other body part and just focus on the eye. So hopefully this inspires you in some way, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!